What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge back with another episode of the Boys Podcast. I have Mike in the studio here. What's going on?
Not much. Just hanging out. It's snowing again, so we got that. Looking forward to us kill some time with the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we actually start this, I'm a man of my word.
Okay.
Even though I don't know necessarily, we had a bet last week for the Genesis PGA Tour.
Right.
I'm not really sure I lost, but I absolutely didn't win. So either way, I'm a man of my word.
Toss one over.
So got some Yerbies.
Delicious.
That we're gonna open up.
You know what's cool about this too?
What's
is
that?
literally I told myself when I was running out of yerba, because I drink these like every day.
Yeah.
They're a lot of sugar and I'm getting old and fat. So I was like, maybe when I run out of them, I'll stop drinking them. So my last one was on my road trip home on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll just take it. And then you bring it over. And I'm like, yes, give me that thing.
Well, I told you.
I'm such a pushover.
I told you should probably just do one a week during the potty.
I know, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. That's fine. But every morning's getting a little out of control. And that is delicious.
Oh man, I need a cup holder.
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna hold this.
Once Mason's studio gets fired up better, we'll have a good setup.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't think you lost though. I think I should have probably got you one.
Yeah. So the bet was, you said Tiger Woods would not make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
He made the cut. My part was Tiger Woods would get top 10. I think he tied for like 48th or 38th or something like that. So, yeah.
You were already on your way over here. You had to hit the store anyways. Might as well grab them.
Yeah.
Instead of me having to go all the way, I live out in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
dude.
plus you're done with them. So
yeah. It tastes good though. I'm back.
So good.
Yeah. So what's new?
Not too much, man. Was all excited. Weather's been good. So got my bike all out. Took it to Cliff so he could service it. My suspension was leaking a little bit. So got a new tire, sprocket, stuff like that. So he can new chain, everything, get it ready so I can start motoing. Maybe get in a little bit of shape before Mammoth.
Yeah, I heard that.
Starts snowing.
Dude, and like highs of 20. Like we're in Wisconsin right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exaggerating, but it's pretty cold up there. But yeah, dude, it's just been a brutal winter. We're not used to this. We're used to like snow for a couple days and then 50s and, and man, it's hard.
And I want you to kind of explain this to the people out there that moto. And they might be like, oh, you guys are too pussy or something.
Yeah.
But, dude, like, California, it gets cold. It rains and everyone's, excited about it. Goes to the hills and ride. That's all good. I'd be doing the same thing. But the cold here is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And also, like, the ground is, like, frozen solid.
Well,
so
and that's what sucks. Yeah. Is like when the ground's frozen, it's just not even fun.
Yeah.
It's like, you're riding like on an ice skating rink basically. And it is different. Like yesterday, our high was 28. That's not something you want to go ride and your hands are getting cold. And,
yeah.
But it is weird. Like how you said, maybe we're just pussies, because I remember being a kid and if I had the day off school and it was like, we rode, like 8 of us went out to the sand pits in like a snowstorm and just rode the whole time. But we're older now and it's like, I don't deal with the cold as well anymore, I guess. Because now I'm a golfer. So I'm used to like being in shorts and getting sunburnt, not sitting in the snow. Yeah.
But also like the days that have been really nice. And I was kind of bummed during that time too, because my bike wasn't, I could have rode it or whatever, but I was like, nah, I want to get it serviced and nice and everything. So it's ready to go. But it'd be warm, 50s or whatever, pretty warm, but there's still a lot of snow on the ground. So I'm like, I don't really necessarily want to ride in snow.
Yeah, it's a lot. You got to be pretty dedicated. Like I said, we're at the age now, we don't need to be going out there and pounding laps in the snow. And like with that too, it's just, it's sloppy out there. When the snow is melting, it's actually like, if you get a good rainstorm and it's a little like puddly, it's awesome because it like kind of breaks into the track.
Yeah. But
when it's snowing, it's just sloppy the whole time. And it just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm making myself sound old here. I used to ride in this stuff all the time, but this winter's been a lot different. Been stuck in the snow since mid-December pretty much, and there's more on the way. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, I just know some people listening will probably be like, dude, just go ride. And it's like, the conditions kind of suck.
Yeah. Well, and what I've learned is anything you say, people are going to say that you're whining. So we might as well just be honest and just whine about it.
Yeah. So that was basically it. Hung out with the kids, went to the store, went to a few, like the Nike store and stuff like that we have around here. But yeah, I was looking forward. It's been, super nice weather. I'm like, all right, finally going to get my bike serviced and everything. And then, excited that he has it. He's going to work on it. And then all of a sudden now it's like, we're going to have like an ice storm this weekend or something. And it's like, dude, we're not getting nowhere.
Yeah. And it is cold. Like I said, Jesus, like I said, it's not like it's just a snowstorm. It's like, low teens at night. And I don't know. I just came from Mesquite. It was awesome, dude. I was in a short sleeve shirt, like 60s, 70s weather. And I'm like, I'm moving back to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm not. But I think that when I'm in the nice weather and it's just miserable up here.
They hit a few months ago when I was looking to buy a new house. I just like searched like homes for sale in Nevada. So like everything would pop up and I'd like what I could get here for like 800,000. I could get a mansion in Vegas. And I was like, dude,
a mansion,
not a mansion,
jeez,
but
easy,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a pool and pretty nice sized house and everything.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, dude.
Well, and that's what I always tell everyone. Like when I'm like, I'm out of here, I'm moving somewhere. It's not like, I mean, I don't care for this area. I've lived here my whole life. I've always I hate our summers here actually more than our winters, just because it's so dry. And, like I like back east, they get big thunderstorms. I mean, it is humid, but I like that switch,
Yeah.
And here we can go, pretty much June to September and not even see a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
And it's just windy. And then we've had just the fires going on. And but
sucks.
back to what we're saying is, all looking like, let's say an hour out of Dallas in Texas. And there'll be like one of those barn dominiums, dude. And it's on like 3 acres. It's all brand new, everything in it's sick. It has like a shop for all your toys and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's like $450.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, my little house here is like $600 right now.
Yeah.
Tiny house. I mean, it's on an acre, which is cool, but just so I start looking at these places and it's like, damn, I'm going there. Like I could cash out a house basically and have a nice spread, but then I'd be lonely and I wouldn't get to do the podcast and it'd be boring. So
I'll move with you. But for you, I think it's a little easier because kind of what you're doing right now, you could do anywhere.
Yeah.
And especially like maybe Texas or wherever you move like that, like Florida, whatever, has the courses and, places like that. Like for me, I would have to like try, because I own a business. So I'd have to try and get that same type of business going where I would move.
Yeah.
So I would probably have to go out there for a little bit before my family does, before we pull the trigger and get stuff set up and then move out there, but
yeah. And that's me too, is I'm such a, like, I don't like, if all of us, like my parents, all you guys, if we're like, oh, let's all move somewhere, I'd be out of here. Like in a second, I'd have this place on the market. But then I start thinking like, dude, I'll be away from my mom and dad and then all my friends, like I'll be golf. Cause when I lived in Vegas, I didn't golf. Yeah. Cause I had no one to golf with, like none of my friends down there golf. We just rode and mountain biked and stuff. So I think of everything like, I mean, that would kind of suck. I guess I'll just sit here and have fun at Sunridge.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a win-win.
So this weekend you did go golf. Where'd you say?
Mesquite. Well, we stayed in Mesquite. We golfed the first day just outside of St. George, Utah. It was about an hour drive. It's like right on the border kind of Nevada, Utah.
And is Mesquite out there too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, Mesquite's like probably an hour and a half out of Vegas.
What's that one like right entering Vegas? It's like the Indian reservation one?
No, that's Paiute.
Okay.
Golf
That's
course.
what I thought it was.
Yeah, no. So Mesquite, you'd be heading east, I believe, when you get into Vegas. Mm-hmm. And so my buddy's girlfriend, she has a place down there. So we're like, oh, let's go do a guy's trip. She wanted to go see her family anyway. So we're like, let's go down there. And like I said, it was perfect, just 60s, 70s. And we golfed Sand Hollow, which I've seen before, but never really paid attention to it. And it was awesome. Like it's like a national park of like red dirt.
Is that Vegas still?
No, this was St. George, Utah. St. George. Yeah. So we drove an hour, hungover as shit. I mean, I might have still been buzzed in the truck. But we get to the course. It's just awesome. Like I said, red sand. We actually had odd numbers. So we golfed with these two kids and, they were good, like just getting into golf, like 21 years old and super like energetic and positive. So that was fun that day. Went out, had some beers that night, obviously. And then the next day we played Wolf Creek, which was like been a bucket list for me.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's been like video games and like.
That's the one you were posting. Yeah.
Yeah. So this course is gnarly. It's basically like cut out in this like desert mountainscape, but they left like the mountains. So you're teeing off into like a canyon. And then like, say you go, it's like a dog leg left, you're going back up and you can't see the green or nothing from like a tee box elevated. Everything's elevated there. Yeah. You're swinging high to low, low to high. And it's just like, we were talking and we we're like, who was creative enough whenever it was built to like come out to, Mesquite, Nevada, in the middle of nowhere and just make this insane course and just cut it out through a canyon. It was super fun. I actually played pretty good because from what I've heard, it's really hard. Okay. I mean, I shot at 86. It's not like I set the course record. But for me, like when I go to a new course, especially if it's hard, like if I could break 90, I'd be stoked. Yeah. But yeah, that was an awesome day. Like I said, it was kind of I've gotten to do a lot of bucket list stuff with golf, like with Bandon Dunes and all those like Whistling Straits, all these courses. And Wolf Creek was definitely one of like my highlights.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. I saw that one. I think it was a par 3 that you were hitting between basically two rock pillars. You know, it's cool, Western looking. That was a really cool hole. So that's one thing I've always said about golf. You know, I like it, and you know, I've gone golf with you and stuff like that. But my main thing has always been like the exploring the new places, because you don't go to one golf course unless you're going to Eagle Valley over here.
Right.
That's no scenic views.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Every course has some scenic views. It's beautiful, especially if the weather is nice and everything. So it's always nice to be out there in nature.
Yeah.
So that's one of the cool things about golf, I think. Unlike any other sport, like you go to a basketball court,
it's the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes maybe it'll be in a cool, like different place or whatever, but for the most part, it's blacktop, hardwood, whatever, and some hoops. You know, same with soccer field, stuff like that. So that's what's cool about golf. So seeing that, I was like, damn, dude, that's sick.
Yeah. And that's what I've had to like try to tell everyone's like, I'm 41 years old now. Cause Instagram, I'm always getting messages like, oh, when are you gonna ride dirt bikes again? How can you do golf and, you know, not ride dirt bikes?
Not to cut you off, but that is cool though. Cause that means like those type of people are like legit fans of you from the beginning.
For sure.
You know, for moto.
Yeah.
So
and that's why
cool
I try and post like some throwbacks of, cause back in our day of like the prime of my career, there was like MySpace and Facebook.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a business to run an Instagram. So like a lot of my footage was kind of like hidden, you know? So everyone's like, damn, do you post a lot of throwbacks? I'm like, yeah, but it's like new stuff that I never got to post before. You know what I mean? But back to the golf, you know, when I was starting to get out of motorcycles, it was just, I started at Sunridge here in Carson, and that'd be like our Johnson Lane Sandpits. It's where I go to like really work on my stuff. And you know, I would take golf and beers and music over riding out in the gravel pit, you know, nonstop. And then I went to Whistling Straits, which is in Wisconsin, where there was a major at. And dude, that thing was just all like kind of coastline and just beautiful views. And then like we do a guys trip in Bandon Dunes every year. And you have to walk there. So we're literally walking along the ocean coast and just like you're golfing, but you're also like taking it in.
Yeah.
Like I want to like reiterate that I'm not one of those dudes that's out there like I'm not trying to shoot a 65.
Yeah.
I'm out there like I got a beer in my hand, got my little push cart, and I'm just checking out I'm taking hundreds of pictures, you know. And
how's the smell there?
Smell?
Is it like super fishy ocean or like kind of clean?
Yeah, it's kind of clean actually. Yeah,
cool.
it's not like a Huntington Beach ocean or where you can like actually feel the salt and stuff.
Yeah. I know it's kind of a weird question, but just like because you have to walk it, so it's probably like the entire time you're just like smelling it.
Yeah, it's actually like really fresh up there, if I can put smell into a sense.
Yeah.
But you can see like when you're kind of up above like some holes, you can see there's like still the little marine layer, like it's kind of like almost looks foggy, like hazy, you know. So there's definitely some salt floating around, but yeah, it's like just a pure place. There's no houses around, no freeways, not like nothing. You're like literally just on the ocean with, I think there's 7 golf courses.
And that's in
all
Oregon?
Oregon, yeah, Oregon coast.
Nice. What was the price for this course that you just did?
Wolf Creek was $220. So it was a little steep, yeah.
For 18?
For 18, yeah. But I always justify it because I pretty much am fortunate enough to golf a lot of the courses around here for free. So like most of the time in the summer when I'm home, I don't pay for golf. Yeah. So it's like when I paid $200 or $150 or something at a different course, I'm like, well, if you think about how much I just saved in Carson, you know, and like I'm stoked on that because I mean, if with my golf addiction, I'd be in the freaking 10,000s on green fees alone, you know?
Yeah. So. Well, for someone like me, when you say that, I don't really like flinch too much because I mean, I probably wouldn't do that all the time. So it'd be like once in a year or like even that. So like 220 doesn't sound that bad when it's like, okay, this is the one time I'm golfing there. So, you know, I don't know what Pebble Beach is or if you can even just play it by yourself. Yeah. But I'm imagining those are like super, super expensive. So like a 220 sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's
for what it is.
And like you said, we're not doing it 4 times a week. You know, if I was spending $1,000 a week on green fees, I'd probably have to find a new hobby. But yeah. And I always go back to dirt bikes. I mean, I was fortunate enough to get everything for free when I was riding. But it's like if you go and put new tires on your bike, it's like $400 or $500 now. Yeah. You know, and granted, tires last longer than a 4-hour golf round. But I'm just so used to like, even if I have to buy golf balls and it's $50, I'm like, anything on a dirt bike or if you had to buy gear or anything, it's just so much more expensive. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but you know, I'm spending $50 on a thing of golf balls and losing them all that day. So I kind of threw $50 into the wind, I guess you could say. Sucks.
Golf balls is a tough one, dude, because you're spending, depending on which ball you're getting, you're spending some money on it and you're losing them really fast.
Dude, there's been a time where I was playing so bad, brand new sleeve of TaylorMade's, which let's just say it's $15 for a sleeve. Dude, I lost all 3 of them on one hole.
Damn.
But it was windy, but I couldn't hit the ball. It was so weird. And dude, I'm more pissed about losing the golf balls than my strokes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I got a 10 on that hole. I'm like, dude, I might as well have just freaking burnt $15.
Well, and I know a lot of people could probably agree with what I'm about to say. When I go golf, my goal, you're like, I want to shoot break 100 in the 80s, whatever. My goal is not to lose many balls.
Dude, I've been there.
So when I get to the course, I'm like, all right, I'll open up a little box. I have a sleeve. I'm like, if I could make this one sleeve last this entire like golf, I want to be pumped.
Yeah. Dude, it's rare, but probably like a handful of times in my life, I've done 18 with one ball and I'm stoked. And then I went and actually played like another 6 or 7, almost made it like, what's that, 20, 18? Yeah, 27 holes.
Yeah.
I've almost made it like 27 holes.
Damn.
Well, and then I lost it, but I'm like, dude, I got good use out of that one. But then there's days where I'm just like in my golf bag every freaking 2 holes.
Yeah, and golf's so weird. Like, I've done it where I've gone, quite a bit of holes without losing a ball. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking killing it. I'm my score might not reflect it, but I'm not losing the ball or nothing. Second I lose that ball, then all of a sudden it's 4, just like the very next shot. And I'm like, dude.
It's and it's super weird too. Like, we always have this talk of, I'll go through a brand new sleeve of TaylorMades on 2 holes, let's say.
Yeah.
And I'll go out in the bushes and I'll find like a Callaway that's been out there for like 20 years. And I'm like, screw it, I'm playing this, and I'll play it the rest of the round. I'm like, it's got to be some kind of mental thing. Because I know they say spin rate, there's all this technical stuff to the golf ball. But anytime I find a ball that I'm just not stoked on, it lasts me.
Yeah.
And I'll keep using it. I don't care. I don't dig into the bag like the next round. I keep using that thing, and then I lose it.
I like to keep balls that like I find that are, it says like it was like for a tour or like some kind of event or whatever. I keep all those.
Yeah. I found a ball that had Coors Light on it.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Dude, I kept that thing right away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's cool. That was, sounds like a good weekend.
Super fun trip. Yeah. And like, just nice to break up the weather a little bit. Like I said, we were golfing in short sleeve shirts and having a good time. And then I got back here and it's an ice storm. So I'm going to drink beers today.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to celebrate this podcast with a Coors Light.
There you go.
Yeah.
For the fans.
For the fan. I'm doing it for you guys.
Yeah. Speaking of you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, you can always watch this podcast on YouTube or Spotify. We have video on there. And then also you can listen to this podcast on all major platforms.
We're growing.
Yeah, we're growing.
We're getting a couple more listeners every time.
I like it.
Shout out to my cousin Nick. Said he loved our episodes, but he's also my cousin and he's good friends with Jorge. So I think he's a little biased.
I do see him at the taco shop.
Yeah. He loves that place.
What are you doing here? So shout out to Nick.
Yep. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to all our friends who are just giving us good feedback.
Yeah.
Like no one's really, that's what I like about our group is they're not negative. Like we're just doing this for fun, right? Yeah. We're not trying to do this to be the next Joe Rogan. It's just, it's snowing out. It gives us something to do, shoot the shit a little bit. So our friends have been good on the positive feedback and it's been fun for us, honestly. Yeah. It's just fun to just, we do a ton of stuff. So it's fun to talk about it instead of just sit there and hold it in.
Well, it's funny. I was actually thinking about this. So there was a point, I think when did you move to Vegas?
I was there I bought the house in 2008, but I moved there 2011 to 2015.
Yeah. So, from however long till like 2011, we like hung out all the time, almost every day, basically. Then you move to Vegas. I'm here still. You're in Vegas. So I would see you here and there, but it wasn't like that. And then you move back. But then by the time you move back, then I have a kid. Yeah. And I have a family and stuff like that. So I do that. That's like the most important thing to me.
I got a dog.
Yeah, you got a dog now. And so I was thinking, I was like, dude, this is the most I've seen you in like a long period of years, like consistently.
You got to be sick of it by now.
I've seen you every week for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, Jorge was actually like our film guy. Like back in the day before iPhones, he would always come out and what did we have, like mini DVs or something? Yeah, like mini DV. And he would literally just film us riding nonstop because freestyle was so new. So I'd be like, dude, I learned enough that I can, get the shot. And we would do it. And so that's kind of me and Jorge's background. He lived right down the street and we got hammered a couple times together. I watched you beer bong at OE40 and then you got a bloody nose when you were puking. That's pretty cool.
Puked it out my nose.
Back when we were young and we'd get up the next day and go riding or something. But yeah, so we've had a long history and it's cool to do this. He went from my film guy to like my technology guy now. Cause when he's setting all this stuff up, I'm like, I don't know. I just sit here and talk. I'm like, I'm no help on this thing besides the talking part of it. So
that's all right.
Good job, dude.
Oh yeah.
See,
But yeah, I was thinking about that. So I was like, oh, this is cool that we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's super fun. And like you said, the feedback has been good. We did have some questions last week, which was, do you believe in ghosts? And then also what was your most viral thing? I think I made a mistake on that one, dude.
What'd you do?
I didn't realize like maybe the fan base that we would have, if you want to call them that, or the support group that we would have, maybe a little immature.
Yeah.
Because the comments I was getting, I didn't really expect that. I was kind of thinking something different.
Yeah.
But the comments I was getting, you know, what was your most viral video that you remember, the first one you watched or whatever? And a lot of them were like 2 girls, 1 cup. I'm like, all right.
That's not immature though. That's a real thing.
Yeah, but I don't.
It just wasn't my first.
Yeah, but I don't think they're like the comments were just more like trolling me.
Yeah.
There was one. This guy said something. I forgot what it was, and I was like, "Oh, cool. I never. I don't remember that one. I'll check it out." And he wrote me back. He's like, "No, don't do it. That was a joke." I'm like, "Oh yeah." I kind of didn't really anticipate the group of people that would be commenting, being immature like us.
Well, yeah, if it's any of our friends especially, you know damn well you're not getting a straight answer out of them. What was Densmore saying? What were you and Dens talking about?
He was talking about, he said the Will Ferral, I don't even know if that one was really viral, but remember Will Ferral and they had the little landlord, which was like, I think his daughter or like a little girl. She was like cussing him out. It was like on that Funny or Die website back in the day.
The only Will Ferral I can remember is the cowbell. I think that's the one. Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, he's acquired taste, you know.
That should be our next question is who likes Step Brothers and who doesn't? Because I'm the only one that thinks Step Brothers was a terrible movie. And all my friends yell at me.
I have a better question.
Okay.
Who here actually thinks Elf is a top Christmas movie?
Not me.
Dude, I think I watched it once and I thought it was horrible.
Okay, so...
And people live by it.
I think Will Ferrell does some kind of like mind tricks on people.
Yeah.
Because like the only movie I honestly have probably watched of his that I liked was Talladega Nights. Or Ricky Ball. Yeah, that's what it was called. And that one was pretty good. But yeah, like Elf, like it's not better. Like people say it's better than like Home Alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way.
You know,
like,
and then
I get it. You like Step Brothers. There's some funny parts. A lot of clips usually pop up like on Reels when I'm watching or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that was pretty funny or whatever. But it's not like a top tier movie for me. But I get it.
Yeah.
But to say Elf is one of the best Christmas movies out there when there's like a ton of classics.
I don't get it.
And it's because it's Will Ferrell. Like, I'm like, dude.
And I'm so
overrated.
I had a talk on the drive down with Brinkley, who came with me. And we were just talking about our humor, right? And I'm more of a like dry humor. Like they're not trying to be like, I still think Napoleon Dynamite's one of the funniest movies just because it's so dumb, you know? But then when you watch Step Brothers, which is so dumb as well, but they're like trying, like the whole movie, they're trying so hard to like just say stupid shit.
It's like a lot of yelling.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of back and forth where like, I'm wondering if like the director's like, this is going to be so funny because they're trying so hard, you know, but like, I just like a movie that's like going along and then there's funny shit that happens in it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the try. And I feel like all of Will Ferrell's movies are like that. I know I'm going to get criticized for this.
Yeah, we're getting roasted right now as we speak.
Dude, when we have garage parties, like I get ganged up on about Step Brothers. Like everyone's like, how do you not like it? And I'm like, dude, I watched it once. And then I tried to watch it again. I couldn't do it. It was dumb. There was the plot of it. Everything was stupid.
Okay, so I'll explain my point of view. I grew up basically watching like comedy, as in like urban black people, Chris Rock, you know, Eddie Murphy and stuff like that. So like my favorite type of movies are comedy or like a Friday.
Yeah, Friday's so good.
You know, those type of movies are like, you know, urban.
Yeah.
So then, you know, these other movies are not like urban at all and their jokes are a lot different. So I'm saying like, even like Pineapple Express, I do like that movie, but that Seth Rogen guy, dude, all he did throughout the entire movie is just like scream and yell.
Yeah, he's like annoying.
Over the top, you know? And I guess that's what makes him funny.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, dude, that's a little too much for me. So
Friday was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Glad you said that. There's so much fun. Like even Ice Cube's funny as hell in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but not even trying. It's just like being cool.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I've always liked. Just like they didn't really necessarily try too much. They just like acted and then they just became funny.
Dude, so I was watching the other day, Fletch was on TV and it's a movie from like the 80s with Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Like old. And if you watch it, like I guarantee you anyone, like any new age kid that watched it right now would be like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever watched in my life. But dude, I was watching, I'm like, a lot of the stuff I say right now, because I grew up on that movie, Like a lot of the stuff I say right now, like small little one-liners that like Chevy Chase says all the time. Dude, I love it. Like Caddyshack when he like does, he's never trying to be funny. It's just something he just almost says under his breath. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm actually like,
well, cause he's a true comedian.
Yeah. But I guess that's where we're going with the subject is I like guys that just have those like little small punchlines rather than a whole movie of two dudes yelling at each other trying to be funny. Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's a try hard type of situation.
Yeah. So roast us all you want. I don't know how we got on this.
You can roast us.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'll roast myself. I just roasted myself.
Yeah.
And aged myself. By saying I watched a movie that was made in like 84. Dude, it sucks.
Yeah. I was born around that time.
Yeah. 81 for me. Getting up there. I need collagen.
Collagen?
Starting to get like crow's nests and stuff under my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, is that Botox?
No, I think it's like a nutrient.
Oh.
I don't know. All right, next question.
Maybe a little Botox.
No, dude.
I don't know.
Because then I'll smile and my face won't move. I've seen it in girls. It's like super.
Yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't move.
Yeah. They look like a crazy doll.
Like a mannequin.
Yeah. So I guess we got to talk about this.
Oh, God.
Dude, what's up with people not having a sense of humor? There will be no negativity towards my guy, Tiger Woods.
Dude, that was so dumb. You know what pisses me off more than that is Tiger's one of the most powerful people today, right? Like a LeBron or even like politicians or actor, whatever. Yeah. His name's up there at the top. It's like, when are one of these guys, unless someone behind the curtain is like threatening him, right? Like a high up, which I doubt. When are these guys going to just start being like, dude, fuck off? Like, if you don't have a sense of, because I guarantee you the people that complain, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Tiger outdrove Justin Thomas at the Genesis last weekend and was just joking around, like side-handed him a tampon. Because just saying, he's basically a chick because he outdrove him. Yeah. Dude, out of anyone I know, I would be like pissed, but in a good way, you know what I mean? Like, hey, little bitch, may touch it, And I guarantee you whoever complained about it doesn't even watch golf. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's probably just some idiot that stumbled across it on the internet or I don't know. But dude, I'm just so sick of like these powerful people just apologizing. Like Tiger was just like, sorry if I offended anyone. It's just like a joke, this and that. I'm like, bitch, I'm worth freaking hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't give a shit what you say. Yeah. I'm the one that made golf. What are they going to do? Suspend him? Every time he plays, that's all you see. Tiger could be 10 over. Yeah. And that's all you see for media, for the tournament. So he has the power. He has the leverage. Yeah. And damn well, because I know stories of Tiger. I have some friends in the PGA, and he's not a pushover like that. I guess he's a good joker. And he cusses, got a potty mouth. He's not just your little straight edge athlete. It's like, I guarantee you he went home and was probably talking with like JT and all those. What the fuck was that shit? Yeah. You know what I mean? Just annoyed by it. But yeah, I swear it had, God, I don't know if it's NBC or who it is that's just probably like, hey, you need to fix that. Yeah. I'd be like, dude, I'll quit. I'll retire, and then let's see your ratings. Yeah. Look at your LA tournament right now that I came to. Like, I'm just sick of it. Like, if LeBron ever did something, or Brady ever did something, and they apologize, I'd be like, don't apologize. There's no. Absolutely not. If it's something like Justin Thomas was on a hot mic 2 years ago in Hawaii, and we know how sensitive everyone is. He should be aware of it. Like, it didn't offend me by any means, but he hit a bad shot, and he was hot mic'd, and he was walking down. He's like, oh, Justin. That's all he said. Yeah. He didn't say himself. He didn't say, hey, camera guy, you're a you know what I mean? And he got fired by Ralph Lauren. So that's a company, right? He got fired by them, like a $7 million deal a year. And he had to write a big old statement and apologize and this and that. And I mean, I get it. I get that word's not being said like it used, like we said the other day. It's like you can kind of say that, but it's never, you're never directing something at someone and offending them. Right. Like he said, Justin, you. Yeah. So literally he could be calling himself gay. Is that offending you? You know what I mean? Like this whole, I don't know, this whole shit is so stupid, dude. But this Tiger thing, dude. So I was reading a lot about it, and I guess, a lot of people that were coming out were women, basically being like, he's being insensitive by using a female product in a negative way, So it was a lot of more like females. And I think maybe that's why Tiger, if no one told him like, hey, maybe that's why he was like, oh, you don't want to piss off the females, especially with his past with the females. Yeah. So maybe that's why he did that. But it's like, dude, like, God forbid someone has a personality, especially in the PGA.
Like, that's why I don't even watch it.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, golf. But if guys were doing that stuff and it's just funny and everyone laughs about it and stuff like that, you kind of bring more eyes and you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, there's some good characters in PGA.
Yeah.
But like, this guy does it. And the thing is, like, he did it to his buddy.
Yeah. As a total, like, it's a joke, dude.
And just so happens that the camera catches it. And they really zoom in on this shit. And then they're like, oh, this is what it was. And then people take offense to it. It's like, well, realistically, like, it's not Tiger's fault. It's more like the people that like made it such a thing. Like, oh, look what he gave him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like the whole Tiger thing. But yeah, like the apology, I've never been pumped on that. Like, if you say something, do something, like stand on it. So he should just be like, hey, dude, Justin's my buddy. And I know he said that. Justin's my friend. We joke around all the time. But, it's funny you say that because he comes out and apologizes. And a lot of people are actually saying like, dude, Tiger's so fake. Like his apology was bullshit, super soft. Like he didn't mean it. It's like, well, good. Like he shouldn't apologize for that. Yeah. He's messing around with his buddy and you can't even do that nowadays.
Could you imagine if we were like A-list status? Oh, we would be canceled from everything, dude. Yeah. Everything.
Dude. And just put this in perspective. To sit there, you're Tiger Woods. And you're like, I'm going to mess with him. Like maybe I'll drive him once during this match. He has to like think about it the night before. He has to go and get a tampon.
That was my question.
Dude, he did all this like premeditated.
Yeah.
Like he's like, dude, this is a joke. This is like super funny. Just the fact that he went through all this trouble to like make this joke happen is hilarious.
That was my number one question. Wasn't like why he did it or that's so rude. I'm like, Tiger just has a tampon rolling around in his bag, just prepared for this one shot with JT that he's going to out drive him. See, and I love that stuff. And that's, me, I used to be a huge sports fan. I watch football every single Sunday, every game. I'd watch NBA finals. I'd watch, baseball, the World Series. Not necessarily like the whole season, but I loved like, championship ball. And I watched Full Swing the other night. It's a golf documentary. Okay. On Netflix. Netflix produced it. And I'm like, oh, dude, I love golf. In the first episode, right, it's bitching, dude. It's JT, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. And they're just playing, they're cussing, they're like being normal, no tampons, but they're still joking around a ton. And it was a really in-depth look that like you and I don't get to see just watching golf on a weekend. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, that's bitching. Episode 2, it's Koepka, Scotty Scheffler, and you could tell maybe Koepka was acting a little bit. There was some suspect stuff, but still, like you get to see the struggles of him and Scheffler's going to world number 1, and just the way they put it together. I'm like bitching, dude. Episode 3 to episode 4, they start talking about Liv Golf, the new Saudi tournament coming out, right? And that's where I haven't watched it since, because it's like, you can't just watch sports and get a cool sense for the athletes no more. There's always some kind of political motive. Yeah. And it's basically, you could tell the PGA Tour had a hand in this Full Swing documentary because, Liv, it's blood money, it's this and that. And the players are only playing for the money and this and that. But they're basically making you pick Liv or PGA. And I'm with my buddy Travis from PGA Memes. He posted yesterday, more golf is better golf. Yeah. Right? And Rory and Tiger and all these dudes that are still on the PGA Tour, they've played in the Middle East. They've taken Rory just won Dubai like 3 weeks ago.
Dude, and the thing is that people don't understand too, like competition, like say something's broken in something, there's a league that's broken. Someone comes in with a little competition, that's going to start getting fixed. Yeah. So competition is actually a good thing for major corporations like that, because they're going to be like, well, shit, we don't want to, be taken over. So we're going to make this cool too.
Yeah. And that's where my dad's super hard headed. He's just PGA Tour. That's where the records are. Arnie, Jack, Ty, And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I'm also a writer. Like, I've had promoters take advantage of me before. I've had to take a pay cut when I was in Australia because ticket sales were bad. And we sold out every show for 4 weeks.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And he builds a $500,000 expansion on the Sydney Bay on his house. Expansion. Yeah. Not just the house. It's $500,000. So we've been taken advantage of by promoters, and that's what I always try and get through people's heads. Like, I'm not like, yeah, dude, Liv, they're doing it for the money. I'm with you. I caddied for a guy, Brett Druitt, last year at the Barracuda, and he has his tour card, reaches the pinnacles of his sport, and he missed the cut and didn't make $1.
Oh,
He paid for his flights there. He paid for his lodging. So if you missed the cut, you didn't make no money.
Yeah.
And to win the Barracuda is like $600,000, which is a ton. Let's be real. But that might be you might make $600,000 that year. And then you have all your, like he's not a Tiger or a Rory getting paid millions. So this year, Liv comes out, Liv makes a kind of a big entrance, and, everyone, like the players that are on it are loving it because they don't have to play as much. They got families and shit. They want to be at home. They don't want to be grinding every weekend. So this year, the PGA Tour comes out with 17 designated events. Like each purse is like $3 million average, let's say, at these events, right?
Yeah.
Like last year, Scheffler won like 1.4 at the Waste Management. And this year, I think he made 3.6.
Yeah. That's nuts.
So if you miss the cut now, I believe it's $5,000. They have like incentives for like all like I still call them privateers from the motor world.
Yeah.
For like $500,000. So all this stuff. So I'm like, PGA Tour, where'd you just get that money?
Yeah.
So you've been ripping off the players for years, and now there's competition, like you said, and now they're finding all this money. And that's what I like about it. Coming from an athlete standpoint, I'm not coming from dude, DJ's getting 130 million, dude. Yeah, take the money. I'm like taking it as like DJ's probably seen some shit that we haven't, and probably been, used and abused by the PGA Tour, even though it has made their careers. Like X Games made my career. It doesn't mean I can't have a difference with it.
Yeah.
Right. If X Games makes, and this is just saying, I don't know facts, but X Games makes $100 million, but the athlete's total payout, is like $400,000.
Yeah.
Then you have questions. And so that's all. So the full swing thing, once it started getting all political, back to our original, we veer off a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
But back to the original story with full swing is like, I'm not watching sports to watch politics and to watch two sides cry like babies. I'm not watching the NFL to hear about what's going on in the world with, problems and shit. I love that athletes are taking stands and fixing their communities and, having their voice to fix stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm against these big corporations pushing this sort of agenda on us. So like, I loved Full Swing for, 2.5, 3 episodes. I haven't watched it since just because I'm not going to sit there and just like listen to them bash one side like the PGA Tour is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like your perspective on that. And like me just being a fan, like I said, like for me, it's like that competition because it's like if Liv is doing something cool and the ratings are up and, some players are like, well, shoot, I'm going to go over there. It's not just for the money. It is for the money, but then also like, look at the cool shit they're doing, dude. It's dope, And so then PGA is going to do this, try and like beat them out too by doing some cool stuff.
It should just elevate,
Yeah. So then that makes it better for the fan experience.
And that's what Trav from Meme said, it's like more golf is better golf.
Yeah.
Some controversy is better. And dude, I guarantee you privateers on both sides are stoked now. Because, like if Brett misses a cut, at least he's getting his expense money back. He's not paying money to have his tour card.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the PGA side or on the Liv side of it is they got their names, Dustin, Koepka, all these guys, but they also brought over some talent that maybe hasn't quite made it. And these dudes are making, like $5-10 million a year now.
Dude, imagine getting out of college and knowing that you're not going to make it into the PGA, but you could go to Liv. Or imagine making a big social media presence where you're like pretty decent and you could probably play there, get smoked or whatever. But your presence on social media is so big that Liv's like, we want you on the tour.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's bringing opportunities for a lot of people that probably didn't have it.
And that's what I do like about Liv is, so when Travis was trying to get his memes page started, he can't post anything that regards to the tour. Like if he posts a clip of Rory getting a hole-in-one and does a meme out of it, it's flagged and pulled down immediately.
Right, yeah.
Where Liv is promoting that. They're like, anyone, like if influencers want to come here and film and, give us a spotlight, why not?
Yeah.
And the PGA Tour is just still stuck in that 60s and 70s mindset of like, they don't even, now they're starting to do it. Like this Roger Steele guy's been doing a little bit of stuff with them and some other guys, but it's like, dude, if you have an influencer, like we've said before, if you have a dude that's getting, 3 million views on YouTube, why wouldn't you let him inside the ropes and just film tee shots and talk to a player and this, you know what I mean? It's free marketing in a sense, unless you're paying him to be there. But that's where I think Liv is kind of trying to rotate it. And the PGA Tour is slowly but surely, they're kind of stepping it up.
Yeah. Hey, Liv, we're available.
We are available.
Yeah.
We'll podcast right on the tee box.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So moving to NBA, I said the NBA All-Star game was this past weekend. So this past weekend, the game is being called the worst basketball game to ever be played.
Really?
Yeah. So it seems like within the last, maybe 5 years, maybe even more, and I'm sure Denz will comment on this because he's a big basketball fan. But the NBA All-Star game has become, you know, kind of just like dunking, messing around, stuff like that for like the first 3 quarters. And then in the 4th quarter, everyone kind of buckles down and starts playing. And, you know, people are like excited about it. They're like, oh shit, you know, everyone's playing super hard, playing good. And you're getting a quarter of really quality basketball with like all the superstars there, right? But it seems like this past weekend, it wasn't even any of that. So the only saving grace for the NBA All-Star game was the dunk contest.
Yeah, which was my favorite when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I used to actually pay attention to it, I loved that stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, it's a lot of people don't like it nowadays too because a lot of the good guys don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the guys that we all know that would just kill it don't want to do it because they're superstars. They're like, I ain't doing that. I don't care. You know, stuff like that. So that's always a negative part of the dunk contest too now. But this past weekend, that I think his name is McClung. Yeah.
Longslong?
So he's actually from the Sixers.
Okay.
Dude, I'm fucking killing it with the wardrobe.
Yeah, you are.
I think he's from the Sixers, but he actually plays, I think he plays in the G League. So the
like farm
league.
Yeah.
But he came in and he just did, I think 4 super great dunks, and like people were super pumped on him. And a lot of people were like, who the hell is this guy? You know, because like I said, he's playing actually on the G League. But, you know, he was a superstar coming in from high school and then in college and stuff like that. He was known for dunking. So to get that exposure, and I heard, I'm not sure how like true this is, but like say like his earnings with the NBA so far has only been like, you know, 500,000. He actually won more during the dunk contest than he has in his whole NBA career, which, you know, has only been like 2 or 3 years he's been playing. But it's refreshing to see someone like that get the opportunity to come in there.
Right.
And he didn't take it for granted. Dude.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what,
I'm stoked to be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something great here, and he did, and now he's, you know, a household name, I think.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Changing from sports.
Okay.
You see Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram and everything, has announced they will be launching Meta Verified.
Yeah, like the blue check mark thing.
Yeah, so it's gonna be $11.99 for the web version and then $14.99 for ISO. What do you think about that?
I don't know. You know, back in my day, you just got a blue check mark if like you were verified or something. And now you got to pay for it. It's like, I don't get, like people have said, because I got my blue check on Instagram just through X Games. Like the X Games got the social media guy was partnered with Instagram. So basically anyone that you could have 500 followers, but if you rode Next Games, you got a blue check.
Oh, sweet.
And I've had so many people, they're like, dude, how did you get that blue check mark? Like, how'd you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. And like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
And, you know, like Travis from PGA Memes, he had like 800,000 followers and still couldn't get one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess it's now a marketing thing. Like if you have it, like people know you're a big deal. And if you have a lot of followers, they know it's a real account, I guess.
Well, the check mark thing, it was, I think, just to like tell that the person was the person saying. And then it became like to get verified, they opened it up for anyone. And to be able to get verified, you had to like show and prove articles of you being in the news or in some type of media presence where someone else would impersonate you.
Yeah.
So then that's why you're like, you know, and I think actually it's so funny that, you know, a lot of girls would come out and be like, oh, can you guys spam this account or like flag it or whatever. I'm pretty sure they're making that account pretending that someone's pretending to be them.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple like golf girls that have like 100 followers and oh my god, there's so many fake accounts of me out there. I'm like,
so I think they're doing that so they could show and prove that there's someone trying to be them, impersonate them or whatever. Yeah. But that's where the open source of it, that's how it worked, right? But to me, I think is actually kind of cool, and they're obviously going like because they saw what Elon's doing over on Twitter. But I do like it because in order to be verified here, yes, you got to pay, but you also have to show proof of ID.
Yeah.
Right. So I think when you're showing proof of ID, you're getting verified. There's going to be less trolls. There's still going to be the trolls that are like a picture of a dog or something, you know, whatever. But the people that are verified are not going to be, because we're going to know who you are, you know? we're probably going to be able to find you, Google you or whatever. So there might be a lot less of outrage trolls going out there, you know, trying to cancel people just for whatever. Like people going on there talking about Tiger Woods and the tampon thing for no reason, just because they can, because they hide behind, you know, a social media and no one knows who they are. But now in order to, you know, be verified, you have to show proof ID. You have to show that it's actually you. And then also like, you're not going to be posting, I think, dumb shit if you're verified. Yeah. And the thing too is, you know, like what Twitter's doing is they're basically saying like, well, that's not true. Like that information you just posted is not true and stuff like that. So it's easier to do that with verified accounts.
Dude, I'm old. I can't picture paying like $12 a month just to make sure that people know it's me. You know what I mean? This whole thing, all like social media is just so weird to me. Like I'm finally hitting like my dad's age. It feels like, you know, like back in the day, you try to keep up with everything and do, but like it was fun, man. You just posted what you wanted and you'd get a comment here and there. Like, you know, like I said, the one dude said he hoped my plane crashed or something when I posted a picture of the wing. I'm like, whatever, you know, but for the most part, it was just fun. And now it's just like such a business and an operation. You know, it's like, it's so weird to me. I'm like, I'm falling out of that because all I do is golf and hang out now. You know, I don't really need a page to like make a ton of money off of. So I'm kind of slowly getting to that like old hard-headed age where like I just can't, you know, $12 a month, $11 a month, whatever it is. Dude, that's like 2 tall boys at a bar. Yeah.
I mean, $14.99, that's the Netflix subscription for the month. So
God, which went up so much.
Yeah.
I had Netflix like 6 years ago and it was like $7.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, they've been definitely going up.
We're getting hosed.
Oh yeah.
We're not making more money.
No, we're definitely not.
Everything's going up.
Yeah, we need those sponsors to come in actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of a good thing for right now because I think it might weed out some trolls.
Yeah. Social media needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
Bad.
But we'll see what happens in the long run. I don't know.
Yeah.
Starting from back in the day when social media first started and it was like celebrities. So you knew that was a celebrity that you were like interacting with or whatever. To now, like where someone with 100 followers can have a verified account, it's kind of like laughable.
Yeah.
But like I get what they're doing, and I like it. So we'll see how it goes. And I think like the new generation coming up with social media and stuff, they're not gonna have a problem with it.
Are you gonna pay for us to get verified?
I mean, might as well.
Come on, dude.
Someone sponsor us for that.
We need a sponsor, please.
All right, so let's get into worth watching this weekend. And I will say I was completely 100% wrong last week. We both didn't know where Supercross was going to be.
Yeah.
And I said for sure it's on the East Coast. It turned out to be in Oakland.
You know, right when we got done with the podcast too and you left, I'm like, dude, I knew where it was the whole time because I was supposed to go down there before the Vegas trip. I was going to go golf with the Blair boys and hang out. So I knew, but like when you put me on the spot, I'm like, oh, I don't know this one actually. This weekend's in Dallas.
Yeah.
I know that.
Dallas or Arlington?
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that I said that. But so this weekend, Supercross round 7, Arlington, Texas. It's going to be also the shootout, or what's it called?
Triple Crown or Triple Crown? Is it a Triple Crown?
Yeah.
Sick.
The one where they do the
3 mains?
Yeah, 3 mains.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. It's always a fun race. We had Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury on Sunday the 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern. We got PGA Honda Classic that started today, Thursday, and it goes through Sunday the 26th. We got Liv Golf. Second season starts tomorrow, Friday, from Mayacoba, Mexico. Mm-hmm. And then we have UFC Fight Night. So if you have ESPN Plus, you get that for free. Nikita Krylov versus Ryan Spann on Saturday the 25th, 4 p.m. GMT time, which I have dude, I researched that.
It's Greater Mountain.
No, it was something else. It was something stupid. I was like, dude, I don't get this.
Dude, we might want to go back to school before we start doing this podcast stuff. We don't know anything.
Well, I don't understand why they don't put like an Eastern or Pacific or.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's in Vegas. So it's going to just tell me what time in Vegas. Like, I don't get it.
Jeez.
So
this world's complicated.
So that's what we got going on this weekend. Worth watching. You excited for anything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, especially when you see the snow report, like that's when sports are at their best. You know, if it's nice out, I don't want to be sitting on the couch watching TV, but definitely watch golf. You know, they're on the Florida swing now. It's always cool to watch Florida when it's 85 out there and it's cold here. Definitely watch Supercross. I'm a fan of the Triple Crown format.
Yep.
Just because it's more good racing. It's not 2 heats and then a bunch of break. You know, it's main event after main event. So you're seeing the guys, and I don't know how the racers feel, but I like it personally. That's about it. I think I'm gonna get some taco stuff. We're gonna grill, well, inside grill, watch sports, and just kind of hang out and hope that we don't get hit with snow too much.
Yeah.
What are you gonna watch?
I'm probably gonna watch that Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. You know, everyone's talking Jake Paul. They say the consensus is he needs to fight a real boxer. He's finally fighting a real boxer. This is Tyson Fury's brother.
Okay.
He's still kind of like newer too, though, so he's not Tyson Fury status, but he is a professional boxer. So we're finally getting what everyone has been wishing. So, you know, tune in. Like you've been asking for that. Tune in and see what happens. And if he actually beats Tommy Fury, then I think we have to give him props and say, hey, Jake Paul's legit. You know,
I haven't watched a whole lot of that stuff, but he's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been boxing retired MMA guys that don't really know how to box, and you know, people like that. So that's why everyone's saying fight a real fighter. But dude, you got to realize he's like early 20s, mid 20s. Dude, he's like 6'1".
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Jacked.
Yeah.
You know, athletic.
Yeah.
And he like all he does is train now. So it's like, of course he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not for like you know, he calls out like Canelo Alvarez and these other guys. He's not there, and he probably won't ever be there. But, you know, we'll see what happens this weekend.
It's like we've said before on this podcast, man. He's still working at it.
Yeah.
He's not going in there fat and out of shit, you know, like, because every once in a while he pops up on my Instagram, dude, and the dude is freaking ripped.
Yeah.
And working his ass off.
And he's a lot bigger than people actually think he is.
Yeah. Like, I ain't talking shit to him.
No.
I'm not much of a fighter anyways, though, if I'm being honest, you know?
Yeah.
I just like to kind of sit there and giggle a lot. So I just let him knock me out, get my 20 mil.
I mean, I would get in the ring with him if that was the case.
Yeah.
20 mil.
Yeah. I'll swing once just so it looks like I tried. I'll probably miss, and I'll be legs up on my back so fast.
I'll be like in the movies where like I just like super haymaker and his head just goes.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me and then I'm, oh shit.
Yeah. Like on Karate Kid on the beach, one of the first scenes when Daniel tries to punch Johnny and it just twists his head a little bit and he just gets freaking worked. That'd be me.
Speaking of Karate Kid, did you ever watch the Cobra Kai?
No.
It was pretty funny because the Johnny Lawrence character is badass.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like out of touch with like all the like
he's like alcoholic
media
and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like all depressed and drinking. I watched a couple like episodes to start, but I never finished it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, let's end the show. Have you been watching anything? Anything worth telling?
You know what's funny is, so like when I put something, it's hard for me to watch something brand new and just be into it. Right? Usually I'm like making dinner, I'm on my phone doing something. So I've put Breaking Bad on again. This is my third time. And yesterday when it was snowing and just freezing out, dude, I started watching the thing for like 5 hours.
Dang.
And I've seen it already. Dude. But you know, like sometimes when you watch it, because like the last time I watched it was probably 2 years ago, and it's always winter. It's always when it's shitty out. So yeah, I'm on my third go around of that.
Nice.
And actually, I've had a lot of people are like, is it good? Is it worth it? I'm like, haven't watched it yet. I'm like, I mean, if you like drugs and two dudes acting like morons, it's pretty damn good.
Dude, I've never watched it. So I'm just waiting for one of those times where I can just watch it.
It's just funny because the way they do it, it's like, it's a nerdy chemistry teacher and a drug addict kid, right? And at first they got this business and they're high-fiving and doing this. And then they're like almost killing each other. And then they're back in business and high-fiving. And then the one dude's almost ratting on the other dude. It's like, it turns into, somehow they keep it going really good. Like the only other show I've actually watched was Prison Break a long time ago. And it's good, but every episode's the same. They just change locations.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they're like in Mexico or something in a prison. You know, it's like they just kind of keep getting themselves in that same situation. But like this one, it's like, you know, you got cartels coming after you and you got like drug lords coming after you. And it's it's a nerdy,
exciting episodes.
Yeah. Super good. There's only been like probably 2 or 3 episodes out of all the seasons that I'm like, yeah, that was kind of like a pointless episode. But yeah, but you have to get into it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get probably, once you're through season 1, you'll want to watch it every night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And just kind of see what's going on.
Well, you know, it has a big fan base, so you're not the only one.
Yeah. I know, like when I posted it the other day when it was snowing, I got a bunch of like comments and they're like, dude, sick, or I haven't seen it yet. I'm like, it's awesome.
Yeah. On Hulu, there's the Wu-Tang Saga. I forget what exactly it's called. The last season just aired a few weeks ago, so I need to watch that. I think it's season 3, and it's going to be the final season. First season's pretty slow, introducing the whole like, you know, all the members of the crew and stuff like that. And even into the second season, it kind of goes slow. But dude, the last 4 episodes probably of the second season, dude, fire. Yeah. That's when like they come out with like Cream, like all the actual songs and stuff. You're like, dude, that was so sick. And just like them performing on stage and then being on the radio and hearing their song for the first time. And they would like call in the radio station with a different, like, try to do a different voice, be like, yo, you know, I want to hear that Wu-Tang. They're like, didn't you just call?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this is someone else, you know, stuff like that. So that was cool. And then now, season 3, I think it goes into like them actually getting a huge record deal and becoming Wu-Tang who we know now. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's over on Hulu if anyone's interested.
And like I said, for us at home, it's a perfect weekend to binge watch and watch sports and whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get so hammered. Let's end this thing and I'm going to go crack a beer.
Okay. Right. Perfect. You should have cracked one on air. I think people would appreciate that.
No, I'm trying to be a respectable gentleman.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for hanging with the boys. This has been another episode. I'm Jorge. This is Mike.
Give us some likes, comments, feedback, subscribes, all of the above.
Yep. Hit us up on all our socials. That's @boys_pod on all social media. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, like Mike said, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.